What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the latest installment of Rio Entertainment. I'm here with
Luis Gutierrez
and
Diego Crespo.
And today we'll be talking about Ready Player One.
There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything.
It was originally a book by Ernest Cline, published in 2011. It's going to be releasing as a film by Steven Spielberg this month, March 29th. And today we're just going to talk about the film, the good, the bad, and we'll start off with Luis. What were your opinions on the book?
So I actually really loved the book, and fun fact, I went to San Diego Comic-Con the one that just passed, and I actually got to talk to the author. I can never say that word right. I'm just gonna say Ernest Cline. I got to talk to Ernest Cline and ask him a question. I'll see if I can find that video and throw it somewhere in here. So pretty much, your book was the forefront for modern day VR. So how does that make you feel that you pretty much wrote the blueprint?
You're so kind. It makes me feel a little bit like Arthur C. Clarke, predicting the satellite before it was actually invented. But when I wrote Ready Player One, I was standing on the shoulders of a lot of science fiction giants like William Gibson, who wrote Neuromancer, and Neil Stephenson, who wrote Snow Crash. So I was not the first person to envision virtual reality. I feel very fortunate, though, that I wrote a book kind of predicting the potential of virtual reality right at the time that it was about to come about. And that was the most amazing thing to me. Like companies like Oculus and HTC Vive, they give copies of Ready Player One out to all their employees to help inspire them and show them the potential of virtual reality. So it's just it's a huge honor. It would be the second biggest honor of my life.
And it was really fun. I loved the book just because it had, obviously I didn't grow up in the 80s, but it just had that whole 80s factor to it. It's like, it was kind of like educating in its own way of saying like, this is how it was, even though the book takes place in its own like future dystopia world where everyone is like in a Wall-E-like universe kind of. And I loved it. I love the idea of we all live online now, and our online personas are more important than our actual personas, and how we live our life. We don't live our life in real life anymore. We live it online, and I love that idea.
Diego, your thoughts?
I also read the book, and I didn't like it basically at all, but it has a lot of cool ideas, and what you're saying about the social media aspect of it is right and interesting, and I think, I don't think that Ernest Cline loves the 80s. I think he loves 80s brands, and I think that comes across because I think the book kind of shallow in terms of how it like approaches all that stuff, because the characters just survive by like thriving on nostalgia, as does Ernest Cline, and like I think that's the wrong way to go about telling this kind of story.
Would you argue that this book was just a cash grab?
No. I think he's very passionate about it. I just think he's passionate about it in ways that I don't appreciate at all. I don't think he's like a bad person or anything. I just really dislike his work. I mean, that's how I feel.
All right, well, Ramon, obviously you like the book as well.
I do like the book.
What did you like about the book?
The thing I liked most about the book is pretty much how we have this big corporation, without spoiling too much, we have this big corporation pretty much lined up against all the citizens pretty much of the world. We have everyone they're all trying to find this Easter egg, and I really like how they pinned this big corporation in IOI. And then I kind of like how the characters come together, because they're all from around the world, and then they come together to just try to take down this big corporation. They do everything they can to not let this big corporation take over the Oasis. So that's what I liked about it, how everyone just came together to stop this corporation.
Yeah, and another thing I liked about the book was just there was one chapter in particular that I really liked. It was again the whole book, majority, like I'd say like 90% of the book takes place in the Oasis and 10% takes place in real life. And there was this one part where it was just the main character, Parzival, which is that guy, and then his love interest, which is Artemis. It was pretty much just a big chat room of them just talking like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And it kind of ends up with them flirting with each other. And just reading that, it brought like a smile to my face. I don't know why, but I really loved that chapter. That's the one chapter that sticks out the most to me, just because nothing's going on at all. They're honestly wasting time chit-chatting with each other, not looking for the egg, but it's just the emotional connection they had. It was pretty much, they knew each other without even knowing each other. And that's something he even mentions in the book. he's like, I don't know this girl in real life, but I know everything about her, and I love her. And it was so cute, and it was romantic in its own way too, and I loved that part of the book. And the book has so much more to offer than what it really is, because there's so much more you could dissect from it. It's just like no one talks to each other. You could argue like this book was like the forefront of predicting VR and predicting what the future may possibly be, and that's what I love about it so much. And yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about how much I love the book now. We're going to the next topic.
Diego, do you think there's anything the movie could do to change your mind about the book?
Yes, because it's been directed by Steven Spielberg, who is my favorite director, one of hands down the greatest directors of all time, and I think recently he's gotten kind of a bad rap for making like serious prestige movies, and like people are calling this like the return of Steven Spielberg. Like he never left.
Yeah,
he's just making a big blockbuster again. Like I'm sure it'll be very well made, and I think if they could fix some of the issues, because like what you said about that chapter, I hated that chapter maybe the most because it's like there's something really interesting there about people connecting on social media. We have friends on social media that we've never met in person.
True.
You know, we're friends, but there's a dissonance there that is lacking, as opposed to like something that we would have if we physically met, you know? And like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way Rapunzel or whatever his name is like treats Artemis in the book is really creepy to me. And so if they could fix stuff like that in the movie, then at least I'd be on board with it. Like whatever, references, nostalgia, I don't care. But if I get a good adventure story out of it, I'd be okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most with the film is how they adapt because there's some scenes in the trailer that are not in the book.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole car race. So I'm kind of interested to see that. If it's going to take place instead of like one of the other contests or something. Yeah. Is that a way to get a key, get one of the keys? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Lewis, anything you're looking forward to?
I'm really just looking forward to the whole movie because I remember when I saw it at Comic-Con, it was just like again, I guess you could just say I was riding the wave of the highness of everyone. I just thought it was like the greatest thing. It was like better than Jesus' Second Coming, and I loved it. And I have like a strict rule when I watch movies. Ever since I saw Spider-Man: Homecoming, I feel like all the I'm gonna use Spider-Man: Homecoming as an example. I feel like all the trailers pretty much bullet pointed all the main plot points, and so when I watched it, I was like, okay. But now I only watch one trailer per movie, and I'm so tempted to break that rule again and just watch all the trailers for Ready Player One because I've only seen the one, and just based off that one alone, like what you're saying is that they're adding more to the movie that wasn't in the book, and I'm all game for that, and it looks so much more interesting. And they're saying that the Iron Giant is going to be a big role in this book, meaning a movie, and in the book he wasn't even like a big role at all. So I'm really interested to see their take on it, and I heard a lot of early reviews for this movie have been phenomenal. Like everyone is loving it. And I saw a headline, I didn't want to click it because I kind of want to go in with my own opinion. But they're saying like the movie does the book justice and does more for the book. Like they're arguing that it might be better. And I'm like, okay, usually it's the other way around. So I'm really interested.
Diego, any last comments?
I've heard the very good reviews coming out of South by Southwest as well. We're recording like the morning after that screening just happened.
Yeah.
And I had some friends that were there and said like, they're like me. They're like, I hated the book. I hated the marketing. The posters are like the worst posters I've ever seen in my life.
Posters.
Like how dare you release that to mankind? And they ended up loving it. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That gets me more excited than any like positive buzz because I'm hearing a lot of fun stuff like, it's a fun movie. There's so many references. I'm like, okay, but what's it about? You know, like I don't care. I love references too, but it doesn't make a good movie just like that. But the fact that I've heard people turn on that like in a positive manner is kind of cool. There are some outliers that didn't like it. Like they basically stayed consistent. And some person who was anticipating the movie and ended up not liking it at all. So I'm very interested to go check it out. And like always, you should go in with your own opinion, you know, come out with your own opinion. Movies are subjective, so say la vie.
Yeah. So like I said, I think I could confidently say we're all excited to see this movie for our own personal reasons. Thanks for watching. This is Rio Entertainment. I'm Luis Gutierrez.
Ramon Alvarado.
And Diego Crespo.